Well, staying in the energy market space, Bloomberg's Alix joins us now with a special guest.
All right, thank you so much, Vonnie. So he is a legend in the natural gas space. He co-founded Chesapeake Energy with Aubrey McClendon, then went on to found Sandridge, and then he went on to found Tapstone, which filed for an IPO late last year. And now he has a new venture, Mock Resources, and he is Tom Ward. Tom, such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Alex.
So Tapstone, you left it when they filed for IPO. How come, and what's Mock?
Well, Tapstone had grown to a place that it was a more mature company, and I had just the great pleasure.
Because at heart, you're a wildcatter. You find distressed opportunities in natural gas fields that no one else can really find. So what do you envision Mock Resources to be?
Well, I don't know if we find where nobody else can find.
You do. Don't downplay it.
What we can do is look for some profit.
I know you're still in the process of getting some partners and stuff, but BHP is considering selling its Fayetteville shale gas assets in Arkansas, been under some pressure from activist investors. Would that be a kind of asset that would be interesting to you?
Well, I like the Fayetteville, so yes.
Obviously, I mean, Chesapeake sold it to them to begin with, so.
It'd be, we're not needs.
Valuing assets right now. I mean, when you had BHP bought the Fayetteville assets from Chesapeake, it was $4.75 billion. What's the kind of price ranges that you see now versus back in the day?
Well, each property has a different amount of production and worth to them. So what we'll look for is trying to buy, mainly just paying for the producing assets, and then develop our own undeveloped assets. So I can't say what we would look at that same field today, because I haven't looked at it. So, but what I would say is that what we'll try to do is just buy for the producing assets.
And you answered the question where, you don't know yet where, but the Permian is throwing off so much gas as a byproduct when they produce oil. Is that in essence going to be where the supply comes from, rather than a Barnett, rather than a Fayetteville shale?
I don't believe so. I think that you'll have growth in the natural gas.
The investment. So what is your strategy with finding a partner for Mock Resources?
Well, we'll look for any number.
When you look at the asset base now versus, say, when you started Tapstone, what's the difference in the asset and valuations? Or just the quality of the assets? Like, where would you have looked in Tapstone a few years ago versus where you might look today?
Basically the same places. We try to do the same. We think we need to have continued rig count moving up.
And
even
so
though we've doubled.
Are we going to get to like $10 natural gas prices again, or are we going to stay in a tighter range? Oh,
I think a much tighter range, but we can always overshoot. And this summer is pretty important, because we need to have gas prices.
Is it just more gas on the international market, or is it going to replace supply from somewhere else?
No, it's more gas on the international market, but what we've seen is we can be competitive.
Well, Tom, it was really great to see you. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to catch up with you. That's Tom Ward. He is the new founder and CEO of Mock Resources, a legend in the natural gas community. If you want to know where natural gas prices are going, follow this guy. Vonnie?
Bloomberg's Alix, thank you for bringing us that fascinating interview. Let's check